Hi, I'm Michael Feldenkrais, your immigration lawyer, giving you immigration news to the day. Yes, Obama and Biden have made it to the presidency of the United States of America. After Election Day, we have now new presidents, new vice presidents, new cabinets, new candidates coming into the government to provide a new atmosphere for this country. What did they say, and what did they promise the people and the immigrants of this country? The Obama-Biden approach. Obama and Biden have supported the following 5 immigration policies: securing the nation's borders with additional personnel, infrastructure, and technology on the border and at the nation's ports of entry. Obama and Biden both supported the border fence bill. While Biden's support may have been more to reduce drug trafficking than illegal entry, in any case, the Democratic Party platform did not address this issue. They have since toned down the support of the physical barrier since it is very unpopular in the border towns. Second, fixing the dysfunctional and broken immigration bureaucracy, reducing immigration fees and lengthy background checks, and increasing the number of legal immigrants in order to keep families together and meet the demand for jobs that employers cannot fill. 3, cracking down on employers who hire undocumented immigrants and supporting an employment eligibility verification system, noting that the raids place the burdens on the worker who is just trying to support a family and put great financial pressures on the country's system. And raids without employer sanctions encourage employers to go out and hire a new batch of workers. 4, creating a pathway to citizenship by allowing undocumented immigrants who are in good standing to pay a fine, learn English, and go to the back of the line for the opportunity to become citizens, with Obama noting that shipping back 12 million undocumented persons is just not practical. And 5, promoting economic development in Mexico to decrease illegal immigration. AILA, the American Immigration Lawyers Association, sent a questionnaire to Senator Barack Obama before he became president and asked him various questions on the immigration issue. These are the answers. Question: could you please articulate what you think are the most pressing issues for the U.S. immigrant community at home and abroad, and how you would hope to address those issues as President of the United States? Answer: at home, the immigrant community faces a real challenge from the tension of our inability to fix our immigration system. Abroad, not enough is being done to encourage job creation and economic development and to decrease the pressure to immigrate without authorization to the United States in search of work. Second question: do you support a comprehensive immigration reform? The answer: yes. Question 3, what policy conditions could comprehensive immigration reform have to meet in order for you to support it? And please be specific. I fought in the U.S. Senate for comprehensive immigration reform, and I will make it a top priority in my first year as president, not just because we need to secure our borders and get control of who comes into our country, and not just because we have to crack down on employers abusing undocumented immigrants, but because we have to finally bring the 12 million undocumented out of the shadows. We should require them to pay a fine, learn English, abide by the law, and go to the back of the line for citizenship, behind those who already came here legally. But we cannot and should not deport 12 million people. That would turn America into something we are not, something we do not want to be, was Barack Obama's answer. Next question: do you support the establishment of an expanded guest worker program? Answer: I would support a new guest worker program to meet worker shortages in some sectors of the economy, but it must have a strong worker protections and not exclude people from ever becoming Americans. It must also take into account that some workers will wish to earn a right to stay in the United States permanently. Next question. Do you support the expansion and construction of a virtual border along the U.S.-Mexico border? Answer. I want to preserve the integrity of our borders. Physical fencing alone is not a solution to the immigration crisis, nor should it be the Secretary of Homeland Security's first recourse. However, I support physical fencing along the border under very specific circumstances, where it makes sense as a matter of security and to act as a deterrent to unsafe, undocumented entry. Securing our borders will not solve the immigration problem in isolation, but combined with an earned path to citizenship for the undocumented and new legal alternatives to unauthorized entry, some additional fencing could help get the border under control. Sensor technology and additional personnel should be used as a first option, and additional fencing should only be built where necessary and agreed to in coordination with local governments, Indian tribes, and done in an environmentally sensitive manner. I will work with local officials on the border and in consultation with border communities to make sure that any additional fencing is not economically or environmentally destructive. Next question. Do you support the switch from family-based immigration standards to the merit-based system put forth in the last round of the Senate Comprehensive Immigration Reform? Answer. I do not support the reduction of family-based visas in order to create a new points-based system. I would consider supporting such a system outside of the existing quotas. Next question. Do you support the touchback requirements of previous comprehensive immigration reform legislation that will require undocumented immigrants to return to their countries in order to normalize their status? Answer. I am disinclined to support touchback requirements because they are symbolic and likely to discourage participants in an earned legalization program. Next question. Would you support the addition of funding for stricter enforcement of general labor standards such as wage and hour or safety regulations as part of your comprehensive immigration reform legislation? The answer, yes. Would you support an increase in the cap of low-skilled employment-based green cards issued each year from its current level of only 5,000? Answer, yes. Would you favor raising the 65,000 cap on high-skilled H-1B temporary worker visas in light of the fact that in the last 2 years, H-1B visas were quickly filled in a matter of days? As part of a comprehensive reform, I will consider multiple proposals for increasing access to the world's best and brightest to work in America. Next question. Do you have a position on providing materials concerning healthcare and public benefits program in languages other than English? Answer. I believe that we should ensure that government programs are accessible to hardworking immigrant populations. In 2003, I was a chief co-sponsor and voted for the technical bill making the provisions of the Language Assistance Service Act, which provides assistance to limited or non-English residents in healthcare facilities, mandatory rather than discretionary. At the same time, I also believe that we must invest in education programs to help immigrants learn English so that they can participate fully in an American society. Next question. Do you support lifetime eligibility for Supplemental Security Income, SSI, for disabled and/or elderly refugees and asylees who are eligible for SSI except for a lack of U.S. citizenship? Answer. I support SSI eligibility for elderly or disabled refugees and asylees. I am a co-sponsor of Senate Bill 821, which expands SSI eligibility for refugees, asylees, and other humanitarian immigrants. Next question. What are your feelings on immigrant detention? Answer. Detention is a necessary part of enforcement, but it must be humane, safe, and respectful.